Oh yeah, the way my back healed was like I think so. It was hurt. Remember, I was telling you for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I bent over to pull a box, a heavy ass piece of furniture, and my back was still hurting, and I felt something like pop in it, and I was like, I hope I didn't just fucking fuck my back up. But over like the next 2 hours, it just felt completely normal. I was like, holy shit, I'm healed. I wonder if I had something sticking out, something messed up, and then as I was doing the pull motion on that box, something just popped back into place.
I wonder if you had like a dislocated? A dislocated disc?
Yeah.
Something popped out just a little bit further than it needed to be. And then when you contracted your muscles in your lower back, it kind of pushed it back in.
Probably.
And you stood up and it's like, oh, God.
It hurt there
so
for a
much
minute
better.
after it popped in. And I was like, okay. I hope I didn't just fuck something up. But then 2 hours later, I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm back to normal.
I've only really have 2 experiences that I can vividly remember of me actually screwing up my back. One was that one that we talked about with the leaf blower, where I'd used it all day, and then just all it took was 1 second of me bending over and picking it up.
That shit was ready to give.
Screwed my back. I was out for the count for 3 days.
Where you couldn't even move.
I couldn't move. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't move. I could barely walk.
Did you have to use your arms to get up?
Yeah, I could barely go to the bathroom. I couldn't hardly move because it was right there in my lower back. And I noticed the other day at work, I was crawling in and out of the floor.
Was it the same spot?
These are 2 foot by 2 foot panels in the floor. And I have to tear up glued carpet. They glued the carpet down in 2 foot by 2 foot squares. I got to tear the carpet up, 2 tiles of carpet to get 1 tile of the floor up because it's a raised floor.
Yeah.
There's only 2 foot of clearance under the floor.
So you're in there like...
And I've got to crawl into this hole and then shimmy on my back 4 or 5 foot to get to a conduit that's going up the wall.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly in and out of this floor, contorting myself and twisting and bending. And then I noticed... I'm starting to get a little tweak in my back.
I hate that shit, dude.
What's going on? Like I didn't think anything about it. It kind of solved itself overnight. And then yesterday, I did all that weed eating. Grayson came over, helped me weed eat. By the end of the day, like sun's going down, everybody's home, I'm sitting in my chair. My back was letting me know. In the exact same spot.
Yeah.
You got a problem. I could barely walk. I could barely stand up. I thought, I'm not letting this debilitate me for 3 more days. So today, I did. I went outside, sat in the sun, I stretched. I made sure to put pressure right there in my back, stretch it out, pull it, get it loose, get hot, get sweat. I was doing push-ups, did a few curls with my dumbbells, like a light workout.
That's scary, dude. If you're
I know. I was like trying to like stretch the muscles, so I was doing exercises that were helping me pull those muscles that were tight. And all it took was about 5 or 6 reps of laying in the sun and then lay down in the sun on my stomach, let my back get some sun, stretch, and then pull with some dumbbells.
This most recent one I had wasn't as bad as the first one. But it's in the same spot.
That's about where I'm at. My first one was a lot worse. The second one's been not nearly as bad.
That's the reason why I bought that curl bar. The whole reason was because whenever I was sitting down on my bench, just doing the hammer curls, just one arm and then the other arm. I was going up with my right arm. Dude, left side of my back, lower left, I literally it felt like something just tore in half while I was sitting there. I was like,
you're flexing your legs way too much, trying to keep your balance and trying to keep everything focused on. Yeah.
And then, dude, I literally was like, I couldn't fucking move.
Yes.
And then I almost started losing muscle mass and shit because it took me. I was luckily off all weekend that weekend. I was off Saturday and Sunday, so I laid in bed basically for 2 days. This was 2 years ago. Couldn't fucking move. I started wearing a fucking back brace to work and shit for a month straight. Because I was not able to fucking do anything for those first 2 days. I went to work on Monday, and I babied every fucking thing I did. And then it's the same spot where I fell off whenever I was doing gutters, and I fell off that roof and landed on my back. It's the same exact spot that tore.
Oof.
Because
You've got some inflammation in that area for sure.
yeah, and this one most recently, it just started hurting like out of nowhere. I thought I needed a new bed or something. I think I might have tried to pick up something that was heavy as fuck at work.
And you
And
put the
mine-
wrong posture into something, and
Yeah.
it just took a little bit to flare up.
And then it hurt bad for about 2 fucking weeks straight. And I was like, okay. I tried to stretch it, everything too. And it didn't
I ain't
help
had
me.
one last 2 weeks.
And then now it's normal. So, I don't know. The, what's it called? Oh, yeah, whenever I fell off that roof. It was a metal roof, and it was during close to the winter, you know, whenever there's like icy kind of dew on it. I was just walking with tennis shoes, like getting the measurement for the fucking thing. And then just, dude, slid. I couldn't, you can't fucking hold on to nothing.
No, there's no gripping.
I was
anything.
gone, dude. I was probably it's probably from your roof to the ground. And I landed, and it was new construction, so it wasn't.
That's
There
about
was, it was
14 foot.
yeah, about 14 foot. There was no grass. You know, it was new construction. It was fucking just dirt, hard ass dirt, and it was cold. I just landed and smashed the side of my head too. Whenever I fucking hit the ground,
God.
and then I was literally just like walking around for the rest of the day, hurt as fuck. And that was that same house in Chickamauga. One dude got his foot smashed by a fucking what's it called, skid steer. A Mexican dude, his foot just got cut in half by a fucking skid steer.
Jesus.
This
Was
other,
it built on an Indian
that's
burial
what I
ground
said.
or
A
something?
third accident happened there. A day before mine did. This dude was inside, like up on a tall ass ladder inside, you know, like painting the walls. Painter. Dude just falls off the top rung of his fucking ladder inside, like probably, you know, one of those big ass ladders on
A-frame or extension?
an A-frame, like one of the biggest you can get.
12-footer?
One of those orange ones. Yeah, just fell off, fucking smashed, busted his whole head open, had to get fucking airlifted to the hospital from
Fell
the
off
house.
the top of a fucking 12-foot ladder. Hell yeah.
And then, like you said, I said, the general contractor was like, I think there's fucking, this house is fucking
There's some
haunted, dude.
voodoo here.
Like, we're not supposed to be building on this. Whoever lives here is going to have a fucked up
We're gonna have a
situation.
bad time.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that job site was fucked up.
I have been very, very, very blessed in not broken any bones. I mean, I broke my foot, but I never went to the doctor for it.
I bet you low key my head's fucked up
Yeah.
because of football, and I've hit my head hard on the ground a couple times. Because in football, near my end of my career in football, that didn't last long. About 8th grade was whenever my shit ended. No, yeah, about 8th grade, I think. I don't know. But my head was hurting so fucking bad, dude. By the time I was like done playing football, I was like begging my dad to quit. I was like, I like can't fucking hit people or nothing because my head was hurting so fucking bad. By the end of it, I was like, I'm begging to fucking quit. My dad's like, nope, you got to finish up the fucking season. And because you know how they are, I'm like, okay, I just got to make it. I'd be like barely fucking hitting people and shit at the end because my head was just pounding all fucking day. And I was like, I got to get out of this shit.
Yeah, I'm glad that I never really got deep into football
Yeah.
because that.
Have you heard this? What offensive lineman and defensive lineman die at like 45?
Well, I mean, look at all that brain damage you're taking.
Yeah, they're every play they're just.
You're rocking your shit every 5 fucking minutes.
And did you see Brett Favre? What he said about like CTE and brain injuries and shit, or like concussions? He said, you know, like a concussion is supposed to be like a big fucking hit.
yeah,
he done
concussion's a pretty big deal.
He done like he said a doctor told him like during these serious studies that he was like, if you hit your head on the ground, you see stars, that's a concussion. And he's like, I had fucking concussion at least 20, 30 times a fucking week. He said he's probably had thousands of concussions in his fucking life. And I was like, holy shit.
That kind of confuses me, though, because I've sneezed hard enough to see stars.
That's putting pressure on your brain.
Yeah. Like, I've sneezed hard enough to see stars. It's fairly common.
Yeah.
I can sneeze and just, God, and my shoulder blades hurt, my lower back hurts, my lungs hurt. and I see stars, and I'm like, God, that was a good sneeze. And then 5 minutes later, I'm fine. Like,
So I don't know about that study, but it is what
still,
it is.
like a concussion, any amount of swelling to your brain is just terrible. It's just terrible. You can't be doing that.
That's why we're probably half retarded.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Oh, hilarious story. Ruined a pair of shorts yesterday
Yeah?
at like 8:30.
Did you shit yourself?
Sharded it, dude. It wasn't even that bad. I was sitting in my chair just watching a fucking YouTube video, and I was like, farted. Was not a fart, dude. Literally, I felt it go into my fucking shorts, and I literally just immediately got up, took my pants off, or took my gym shorts off, went in there and wiped, and just walked outside shamefully with the gym shorts in my hand and just tossed them in the fucking garbage.
All right. Well, I'm containing a very violent amount of laughter right now.
You know, whenever you fart, you think it's gonna be a fart, and it just
Yes.
and it didn't even make a fart noise. All it made was this, and it was just liquid in my fucking pants, dude.
Grayson, if you're listening, isn't that a hell of a synchronicity? And I'm sorry to embarrass you. He shit himself yesterday too.
By accident, not
Just completely out of the blue.
Yeah,
Out of the blue.
I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to either understand why. Have you noticed our dad? Once you get older as a dude, your asshole is no longer reliable.
I've not had any instance.
I've heard podcasters like Matt and Shane's have talked about it. War Mode's talked about it. They're like, once you start getting older, you really can't trust in farts no more. And I've noticed my dad he always says he has to re-wipe. He said that shit his whole life, or the whole time I've been growing up, because I think he farts and a little bit of shit comes out and he has to go fucking re-wipe his ass, dude. That's why have you ever heard him say re-wipe too?
No,
He's like, I gotta go re-wipe.
I've had several instances, yes. The re-wipe is a very common occurrence.
And then there's like shit on there. And
like you
"God
get
damn."
done, and you go a couple hours and you're like, motherfucker, what's going on? Like,
And if your asshole's
I need
itching, that
to
means there's shit still on it,
they're-
right?
yeah.
God.
It's still there.
And you could wipe as much. Why is there shit still on it, even though you wipe and there's nothing on the fucking toilet paper, right? Why does your asshole fucking itch later?
Well, I don't necessarily think that the brown starfish is tight enough to keep liquid out.
Yeah.
So it's just, any just little digestive enzymes and just poop that just decides to come out.
Dude, we are.
Just works its way out of the little button that's there.
We might be the most disgusting human beings of all time. Have you ever thought about like working all day in the heat, you're sweating, and you're fucking you're farting on yourself, probably shitting your pants a little bit all fucking day.
You're just pumping methane and digestive enzymes into your britches
Just
in
gas,
vapor form.
Just gas,
And then
just
it
coming out.
collects on your clothes. And then just progressively starts to get a little worse. Yeah.
Have you seen that video of that police officer that tries to jump over that metal fence? And
I've seen a lot of videos of police officers jumping over
it was
a
one of the
metal
tall
fence.
ones. This dude jumped over a metal fence, and the top of his pants right here got caught in him. He falls, pulls his whole fucking pants down. He's hanging by his fucking like the ends of his pants, and he's wearing whitey tighties. And right there on the asshole's whitey tighties is the biggest brown mark you've ever seen. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I have not seen that. We're going to have to see this. Jamie, pull that shit up. I'm so glad you didn't Google first and then click. Shit.
I don't know.
Underwear.
This.
So there's a video that goes with that?
I think so. Look at that.
Yeah, I had that. Oh, shit. What is this? What have you taken us to?
The computer's cooked.
Oh, no. Wait, that's probably the video right there on Reddit. Cop gets stuck on a fence. Yeah. Oh, my word. Oh, my God. Bless his heart.
People just walking by.
That shit went public, literally.
Yeah. Here's Officer Sanchez. One of the great moments of his career.
Dude, you remember wearing tidy whities though?
I do. I don't wear them no more.
Oh, of course.
I remember whenever
most people don't. You
My
have
dad-
to have a specific preference,
Dude, my dad's like 65, geezer. He holds down whitey tidies to this day, dude.
Really?
Yeah, wears them to this day.
Damn.
Hate to expose him like that. A lot of old dudes, I think they all wear whitey tidies.
That makes me wonder if there's a reason.
I probably like the package tight.
There's got to be something there. Well, I mean, I wear briefs. TMI, but I like briefs.
What was that one? It was an ad on a lot of those podcasts at one point where the dude had the pocket for your balls and the pocket for your wiener.
Oh,
And it was a military dude that
yes,
that invented them.
I remember those.
Yeah,
You got to be proud of yourself to think you need a pocket for the motherfucker. I don't need a pocket for mine, baby. Mine's got its own pocket.
it just sucks back in and it comes out when it's ready.
He's got his jacket on. It's okay. Ah, Lord, that's too much.
I drank too much yesterday. This is going to be my only fucking beer.
Yeah. I was wondering you come in with only 2 waters.
I came in, I got
You
wrecked.
got blasted, didn't you?
Yeah, and then just went straight into work. Oh, everybody was pissed. Dude.
Well, the day after is just always terrible.
Everybody at work this morning was fucking pissed, dude. I'm talking to every fucking body.
It was a Saturday. Of course everybody's
We
pissed.
took on a whole shitload of new area today, too. So our contract, you remember I was telling you we go all the way down to the Georgia line, like Windstone Golf Course now, all
Yeah.
the way down Ottawa Ringgold Road?
Yeah.
We started that shit today. And we got Highway 58 shit in Ottawa now, too. Part of our zip code. Everybody was fucking loaded the fuck down.
Damn.
And they were all pissed. Dude, this one dude's truck, Gabriel, right across from me, he just started with it because he moved contracts because the other dude's contract exploded. Remember? Because he did all that fraud.
Yeah.
So he came and worked for us. His fucking truck, I kid you not, from bottom to top, almost to this fucking front door was packed fucking full, dude. Shelves were completely filled and there was furniture down the middle all the way to the front of this dude's fucking truck. He was fucking pissed. Danny had a shitload of area too. His whole fucking truck was full. They ain't gonna get done till like 7.
Oh.
Your boy had a half a day because I requested off and
They made you work anyway.
and he was like, okay, I'll give you half a day. And my dad was like, okay, I'll come in and run some of your shit too, you know, to since you need to be off work early or whatever. And then I didn't tell him that I didn't actually need fucking off work early because I'll take half a day. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell him no
I'm going
different.
to take a half a day, sure.
I ain't gonna volunteer any information like, oh, I don't actually need to fucking be off anymore. But so, my dad was pissed because he came in to you know, he thought he was gonna have like an easy day too.
Yeah.
Dude, his truck was loaded the fuck down. He had a shitload of stops. I was the first one back because I only had 100 stops. I got done at like 1. Whole fucking everybody else still fucking out there. I'm like, peace out, guys. I hate it for you. Everybody was fucking pissed. Robbie's own dad was in there, Bobby the Marine. He was fucking pissed. And Bobby's getting like to the point, I never thought I'd see the day. Like Bobby's usually hardcore about work, getting everything done, right? Over the past 2 weeks, since we've been getting nothing but gigantic. Have you seen the pictures I sent to you of all the furniture we're fucking getting?
Yes.
We're getting all kinds of fucking furniture. That's all we fucking get. And Bobby now, he's literally just sitting there just going, I'm over this shit. He's like, dude, if the furniture won't fucking fit on your truck and your truck's fucking full, fucking leave it here. They'll get that shit tomorrow.
Damn. It kind of makes me wonder why the fuck everybody's ordering furniture right. Well,
Everybody's building
spring cleaning.
and you see
everybody's got new houses and everybody's cleaning.
You know in
ordering
Ottawa
shit.
where
Yeah.
you seen me delivering?
Yeah.
You know, all those brand new fucking neighborhoods.
Brand new.
And they're all
neighborhoods.
moving fucking in, and they're keep building more and more. And those brand new apartments, which is why I get a shitload of
Everybody's
furniture.
ordering new shit.
They're ordering this shit made in fucking Taiwan and Japan and Vietnam. It's piece of shit furniture, I bet. Well, hell, I don't know where this is.
I don't know. This was made in China, so
Hell, it's nice.
That's-
But that box was probably heavy as fuck too. That came.
It was. That is a very dense desk for what it is. Just to be 3 different fucking like fiberboard. I don't even know. It's fiberboard. It may be real shit.
Yeah.
Metal base and all that. It's a dense little table.
Yeah. The FedEx dude, or was it UPS or FedEx that delivered it?
UPS.
Yeah, he probably was
UPS
like,
delivered.
"Hey, son of a bitch, his order."
I met him in the yard when he brought it. He was like, I don't know what this is. I said, it's a table. I said, it's a table. And he was, I was wondering. I said, I'll get it. I'll carry it in. Because I always meet the delivery drivers outside.
Dude, I have people watch me out their door. Or like out their windows and shit while I have heavy ass shit. I'm fucking.
I ain't doing it.
That
I
shit pisses
can't.
me
I
off.
cannot do that. I cannot.
I won't do it either.
USPS dropped by today to drop off 2 bottles of shampoo for my woman in there that
Yeah.
she's been ordering. I meet them in the yard.
Yeah.
I meet them in the yard.
That's what I would
I'll
do if
get
I
it.
was
You
ever
ain't
home.
even got to get out of the vehicle. I'll get it from you.
Oh, and you know the Amazon shit that we're starting to get.
Yeah.
So they don't need our help with none of the small shit. UPS, none of the small shit. All Amazon's gonna be sending us is all their big ass shit, dude.
Oh God.
I was like, dude, oh, you already got too much big ass shit.
I'm just gonna set my delivery address to the Publix up there on Oodwell Ringgold Road.
Yeah.
And order 2 just 80-pound dumbbells and make sure that you're my delivery person. Just drop it outside the front of the Publix.
Another funny ass story. Remember, I ordered those 100-pound dumbbells.
Yeah.
Our FedEx man at my house put it in front of the fucking garage door for some reason. And
Hell yeah, he didn't want to carry the motherfuckers any further than he needed to.
you're supposed to put it in the middle of the garage. Was what I was saying. I don't mind where it's at. You know what I'm saying? He put it in front of the garage door. So whenever my dad went to back in, he fucking thought he fucked his car up because he backed up. He was like, "What the fuck is this?" He said, "Dude, your fucking 100-pound dumbbell fucked my tire up." I said, "I didn't leave it there. That was the FedEx man."
Well, on your dad's end, how the hell do you not see a big ass box sitting in front of
He's
the
probably
door?
just backing into the garage, not even looking. Just what the fuck? He said the fucking dumbbell didn't even fucking move, dude. Just 100 pounds just sitting there.
I just feel like I would see a big ass box sitting there in front of the garage
He
door
probably
as I was
didn't even know it was-
backing in.
He didn't know it was coming either. I just ordered it. He called the terminal down there too, and he was like, "You're fucking tell him to put it in between the garage. You know, like in the middle. Don't put it in front of somebody's garage door because you can fucking run over shit like
The
that."
plight of a delivery man.
Yeah. They're like, "Sir, what's your name?" He's like, "Motherfucker, I've worked here for 37 years. You know who the fuck I am." Tell that dumbass to fucking quit putting shit in front of people's garage.
Or, just open your eyes and look at what's in front of your garage door.
True.
I don't know, because
here's what pissed me off. He tried to blame it on me, like I'm the one that left it there. I'm like
you're the one that delivered it.
He called me. He's like, "Dude, your dumbbell fucked my tire up." He's like, I was like, "I didn't even leave it there, dude. I just ordered it." He blamed it on me at first, and blamed it on the other fucking dude.
And then called FedEx and
Yeah.
was like, "Fuck y'all."
Instead of doing what you said, just opening his eyes up and just going, "Oh, there's a huge
Well, I mean, you would think, I know the shape of your driveway, so you would think that if you're backing up your driveway and going into the garage, looking in your mirror, you're going to see my
Here's what
40-pound dumbbell coming in a big-ass fucking box. I know a 100-pound coming in a big-ass
about
fucking
that
box.
big.
It was fucking huge. You would have seen that.
And then what would have been funny if he did see it? I wonder whenever he went to move it too, he was probably like, "What the fuck is this?"
I wonder if he tried to move it first and said, "Fuck this," and then backed over it and called you.
He probably was over there going,
God,
"Fuck."
fuck this. I'll make this his fault. No, he wouldn't do that. Surely not. He wouldn't do
He just
that.
made up the whole shit that he fucking ran over it, dude. He might have, dude. He might have. He might have said, "You know what? I can't even move this motherfucker."
I ain't even gonna move it, so I'm just gonna make this his fault. No, he wouldn't. He would have been able to move that. Surely, surely.
He would have.
Is he still lifting? Does he exercise?
No, not
No?
before. He needs to get fucking back into it. Well, hell, he works. He lifts a heavy ass shit.
I mean, obviously
Work,
he's
yeah.
active every day.
Not every day no more, but
No?
he does like our bulk and shit. Like he'll go around like. Well, today he had to fucking work. He's probably pissed about that shit. But
What days does he work? Like, does he?
he only usually works now till like 10:30. Like he'll take out like McKee, like if McKee orders like 60 boxes or something, he'll take that out in our bulk truck, and then like a whole bunch of like other stops and shit. Like this one house, for example, and this subdivision.
So he's taking the light load essentially.
Like, yeah, but it's just all like bulk stops, like multiple huge ass fucking boxes, shit like that.
Yeah.
For example, one was I had one stop, and these people just moved in this brand new subdivision over there. They just ordered like 3 gigantic king size bed frames, 3 mattresses, all going to their fucking house, dude. and 2 nightstands, and then a whole like dresser, like huge ass box.
Good God.
All going to one
I'm
house.
gonna borrow their checkbook for a weekend.
I know, dude. I wonder how these people
Where
can
the
afford
fuck?
this shit.
How the hell
They
do
probably
you
just put
buy
it on a
3 king size beds?
I bet you they just put it on a credit card.
That is a massive
And then
problem with
him
keeping up with the Joneses these days.
Him saying, "Oh, don't leave shit in front of people's garages." I know for a fact he went backed into their driveway and just literally opened his back door and just left all that shit in front of their garage and just drove the fuck off, dude.
I don't know. You could follow him. He may be walking it to their back fucking deck.
No, he's not doing that. He's path of least resistance. Michelle, she's another lady I work with, because she's like 50 something. She can't hardly lift this heavy ass shit. She'll go knock on the customer's door and get the dude to come outside and get the shit off of her fucking truck for her.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
He did.
That's what you should do.
She
Like-
had this one dude the other day. She had like a whole transmission going to this dude's house,
Oh fuck!
and he was like, "Why didn't this come on a fucking freight truck? Like, why do y'all have this shit?" And then I was like, "Dude, you should see the shit that we fucking deliver. You know the electric lawnmowers?
Yeah.
We got those. We got the Blackstone grills and shit. Those Blackstone grills are heavier than fuck, dude.
Hell yeah, they are.
And those big ass
Hell
orange
yeah,
boxes.
yes.
Dude, I put this shit on my shoulder.
That's like trying to pick up a fucking big green egg grill.
And then those what's it called? Those electric lawnmowers that everybody's getting now. We have those. They come in those big ass green boxes.
I know of electric lawnmowers, but we don't use them. So
Milwaukee has that shit where you could just put the Milwaukee battery in it, and it's a fucking electric push mower. For real, dude.
damn, they're making some good shit. Milwaukee's got some good shit.
And then I've sent you a couple of videos of those, like all the rich ass neighborhoods I deliver into.
Yeah.
The people that have the robot just going mowing their own yard.
Just blows me away.
There's just a row. I think I've sent you like 2 videos of people's robots just
Mowing the yard.
just going around there.
Blows me away. Blows me away. Like we got robots that mow yards now.
Yes.
That just irritates the fuck out of me. I started my mower. I got off work early on Thursday. I finished up, got myself in a good spot, and I thought, all right, I'm going to go home. I'm like a week and a half behind on my mowing. I need to go home and mow. So I get home, get the youngin' situated. All right, I'm going to mow. Go out there, start my mower, pull it out of the barn, start the mow. Mower dies. Start it, it'll run for a couple seconds, and it would die. Motherfucker. What the fuck? So I started looking into it. I Googled it. All right, well, you got all this other shit. And you can be looking at it. Is it getting air? Is it getting fuel? Well, guess what? I got to choke it to start it, which means it's getting plenty of air, but probably not getting fuel. But I'm not sure. Let me call my dad. Called my dad. I was like, hey, can you give me a couple pointers? Like, my mower, it'll start, but it won't run. This is a 1999 John Deere lawn tractor. It's just a fucking machine. There's no electronics necessarily. Sure enough, it was my fucking fuel filter. So I smelled like gas all fucking evening because I had to fix the mower before it could even mow.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people out here with fucking robots that mow their yard for.
Yeah.
Blows me away.
You're going to be sad whenever that mower just kicks the bucket, dude.
It won't. I'm convinced that mower will not die. As long as you just keep putting oil in it, good gas in it,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna die. It ain't gonna die because that's when shit was made to last.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna die. It ain't gonna die. You keep that 100% gasoline in it because anything before, like, what, 2004, 2006 wasn't made to run ethanol.
Oh.
It's like those engines. You just run your 100% gasoline in it. Make sure you got oil in it. Clean it up every now and again. Make sure your fuel lines are clear. That fucker will run and last longer than you will.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hopefully. But I ain't had any issues out of it. Other than that, that was the first issue. And my dad was like, you got another mower down there that I brought you that's got all the parts on it. Just take the fuel filter off the old mower and put it on that one. And I went, huh. Clip, gas everywhere. All right. Clip, gas fucking everywhere. Put the filter in it, hooked everything back up, started right up, fired on. I mowed the whole freaking property.
You have to weed eat like all that shit too.
Oh, yeah. Grayson and I weeded for 3 or 4 hours yesterday. We got everything done. Did all the ditches, did around the pond, around the house, around the barn, out the driveway, road frontage, around the apple trees, all our fence rows. We did everything. The property is finally caught back up.
Oh, because it only rained for fucking
It only
3
rained for
weeks
like
straight.
15 fucking days.
Ain't no sunshine when
Anymore.
she's gone.
That's just been terrible.
God.
I thought it was going to rain again today. The radar said it was going to be sunny.
It ain't even sunny, dude.
It's an overcast. It's a thin overcast is what it is.
It's just about enough to piss you off. Dude.
It's a thin overcast. But I got enough sun today. I know I did that.
I did yesterday afternoon. I got
I'm
a little
still
bit.
feeling a little toasty. So I know I got some sun today, which is good. That's the first time in like 2 weeks.
And it says on the radar all week, sun every day.
Ooh, that'll be nice. God, that'll be nice.
If I can get the goddamn day off, dude.
I'm ready for it. Yeah. Still, I come
My
home in
days
the
off
evenings.
are crazy. Monday and Friday and Saturday. Daddy's pissed because he's gonna have to run my route 3 days next week. Every time he just goes, I'm not doing it. He just goes out there and just suffers through it every fucking time.
I text Garrett telling him we were doing this. He never responded.
He's
so.
wrecked us, dude. He's
It's
abandoned.
the 3rd episode in a row he ain't been here.
He's abandoned the cast.
I don't know. I guess he's just busy.
Yeah.
I don't know. No. I kind of got to pee.
Dude, what is even
No,
going
it's
on in the news? Have you noticed anything? Because I haven't even
I've
hardly
not
looked.
paid attention to the news. Welcome to my world. I've not paid attention to anything that's going on.
Me either.
Like I know right
I've
now.
clocked out. I've just been like, I got to worry about myself right now. For a
I
little
know nothing. I don't know what's going on. I know that Phil Robertson died. The guy.
Oh, the Duck Dynasty.
The
dude.
Duck Dynasty guy, the father of all of them. I know
they
he
said
died.
that in the group chat.
That's about the only thing that's been a recent event that I know about. I don't
Same.
I don't know. I've just been doing my own thing.
God.
Here we are, you know.
It really makes me start noticing. I started noticing this shit like 3 weeks ago. It's like, look, you pay attention to all this shit, and then you hear other people talking about it, and then you're listening to it too a little bit. But if you actually just sit down and just keep just living your own life, doing your own fucking thing, you've started to notice that literally none of that shit matters.
You
that's in the
become
news.
so much more interested in silence than you do knowing everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. And it's crazy how you can see that progression as we've gotten older. It used to be we wanted to be totally updated on everything that was going on, everything. We wanted to know everything so that we would have something to talk about with everybody else that knew what was going on. And then as we've gotten older, it just starts to fade off. We don't really care.
And then you get enough shit to talk about just talking about your own fucking life and shit.
Yeah, there's
Trying to
enough
figure
shit
out.
going on. You're doing enough stuff that's interesting. You're having thoughts and memories. You're making your own memories. You're doing everything that's more interesting than what the world's doing. If the world wants to go to shit, let the world go to shit because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And, you know.
Speaking of, I'm just begging for just a slice of a piece of ass. Dude. just a touch, dude. That's all I need, dude. I've been going out with this chick.
Oh,
I've
the
been
rocket's loose. Here he goes.
going out with this chick for a fucking month, dude. It will be a month by this fucking Saturday. We've been going out, and I have not had. Look, we've made out, we've kissed, we've done. I've touched her fucking pussy outside of her pants. I've touched her tits. She's touched my wiener outside of my pants, dude. If I could just get this chick alone.
I'm just telling you.
Yes, you keep saying this,
Just
dude.
like I told you.
Neuron
You can't-
activation. Pull it up, Jamie.
You can't force. You can't expect. You just can't do it. You play it right. Show her that you're worth having and you're patient. That's all you gotta do.
My patience is wearing thin.
You know, you can't let monkey brain take over.
It ain't taking over at all. I'm telling you. I've not showed anything to her, but I've told you, and I've told a couple other people. I'm like, I can't.
Well, now you've told everybody that.
No,
you know,
she don't
listens
listen to this, so we're good.
No, but everybody else that we know that does listen to this.
Dude, they need to know that I am fucking dying out here. This is breaking news.
It ain't that bad.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
God.
You'll get there. You'll get there. Everybody goes through the exact same situations.
No, they don't, dude.
Yes,
every one of
they
my
do.
relationships, every one of mine has been
You
sex
experience the
first.
same things that everybody else does.
And then after- now-
some people just have different versions.
Now this is ridiculous, dude. I'm about to just throw it in the towel, dude.
No, you're not.
I won't. I've
No,
thought
you're
about it
not.
like 4 times. I'm like, no.
No, you're not. You're more patient than that.
Yeah.
It's called doing it the right way. You start to realize that okay, these impulsive behaviors and these impulsive thoughts
They
are
haven't
not
really
that
got me anywhere
important.
far.
They're not that good. So I just need to calm the fuck down and tune in. Or what is it you used to tell me to do when we play Wars? Lock in.
Lock
You'd
in,
tell me to lock in. Just lock in.
I've been locked in.
Just lock in and just do it. Don't expect, don't force, don't do. Just live. Just live.
That's what I've been. That's the front I've
And
been
that's
putting
just
on.
do
To
it.
her.
And those frustrations that come from that, bury them.
Watch. I'll wait all this long, and whenever I finally get the chance, I'll just go. No, I'm good.
Yeah, it'd be like
I doubt it though. I'll fold like a damn lawn chair. Dude.
I'm too tired. I just don't,
I won't do that. I'll fold like a cheap lawn chair, dude, immediately and be like, "This is what I've been waiting for." Can't even get it out of my pants.
Ain't
Just-
even get it out of there. And then it won't work. You'll be too liquored up. It won't work. And you'll be like, damn.
You gotta pee or no?
Yeah, I gotta
Okay.
pee. Yeah, I gotta pee.
Hold on.
Back again. Talking about testicular torsion and how very pleasant it is.
Oh, dude, I'd hate for that to happen to me.
I don't think I could handle it.
There's a couple injuries where I would not want to fucking have them. Like broken bones, something like that. Like if I step in a hole walking through somebody's yard and like a deep hole, and then like like keep
Fall
going,
over and
then
crack your leg.
and your shit just breaks, and you're like, God damn,
Yeah, I don't know.
dude, I'd be out for like 6
I've
months.
never had to wear a cast.
Me.
The most I've ever had to wear was like one of those bandages, like the little tan bandage that you would wrap, like a compression bandage. I wore one of those on my foot when I broke my foot. I don't even really think I broke my foot. I just fractured it. I went to kick a soccer ball in like 4th grade, 5th grade at Wood Station Elementary School over there. Went to just kick it, set it up on the sidewalk, and just took a sprinting and just kicked the fuck out of the sidewalk. Just a concrete sidewalk. Missed the ball entirely. Didn't even hit the ball.
Dude.
Kicked the sidewalk. Limped. Limped for like 3 days, 4 days. And then my
Your
mom,
foot probably fucking exploded.
yeah, it was terrible. I couldn't put any pressure on my foot. My mom was like, just put a bandage on it. So I put a bandage on it, went along, did my thing. Now my right foot has like this hump in the middle, like on the top of my foot. For my, like the bone cracked and like kind of bent up a little bit. So my skin grew a little bit higher in that area. I've just got a hump on my right foot. But it healed up. Now I can, Mm-hmm. But I've still got like a bit of numbness. Like when I'm driving, I notice it. Like if I'm wearing some shoes that are a little bit too tight and my blood flow gets kind of a little restricted, I can start noticing that foot. It feels a lot differently than my left foot does.
Dude. God.
That's as closest I've ever come, like to ever having something broken.
One of the worst ones I had was, the steps on the FedEx truck. It was raining. It was slippery. And I slipped off the first step as I was jumping back because I was jumping back into my truck, slipped off, shin on straight metal at full blast, dude. And I just sat in my truck for like 5 minutes, just like.
Took that upper layer of skin off.
Do you know that pain where it's hurting whenever you like fucking hurt something, but like you can't move or touch it? You're just sitting there like,
it's a throbbing, constant pain.
Just go away.
Just go away. Yeah. I mean, it's like the feeling of getting hit in the nuts. Just waiting for it to go away.
I hope I never get hit in the nuts again. That shit would be terrible.
Yeah, and yet there's still guys out there that find that attractive. To get hit in the nuts.
Dude, I seen
what the fuck?
I seen that shit. Tim Dillon was talking about that. He was on Tom and what's her name?
Medea. I don't know.
Tom, his wife, they have that show where they show people nasty shit. Tom and his wife.
Tom who?
Segura.
Oh, Tom Segura?
And his wife.
I didn't know he had a podcast or anything.
With his wife, yeah. And they were showing Tim Dillon, because Tim Dillon was talking about it on Rogan. He was like, they showed me a video of a dude. He had his, like, balls in between, like, these, like, boards. And, like, so they were, like, cut off like that, right? And there was a woman with a stiletto fucking heel on just crushing his nuts. In between the board, dude.
Why does that exist?
And Dylan was just like, dude, what the fuck are they showing me?
Why?
He gets him off, dude.
It's why?
Like BME Pain Olympics whenever we were like 8 years old.
Dude, I remember I watched One Man, One Jar, Two Girls, One Cup. I watched all that
glass
bullshit.
Ass, dude.
Oh, God.
I seen somebody post a meme about it on Twitter the other day. It was a man and it was a dude just making a joke about it. He had like set up the whole setup. He just set a glass jar upside down on the ground, and it was just him standing there, and his legs were in front of it. He was like, time to make a part 2. Do you go to the hospital for that? Or do you just have to just...
what do you think?
Take it on the chin and just
No. What do you think? Put yourself in his shoes. Say you're a man that's, I'm going to make an extraordinary online video by sitting on a glass jar just to show that I can.
And then you aren't expecting.
And then I'm going to
explode.
pull it back out just to show that I can. You're in the situation. Now, here you are with your very misshapen wiener. Because he did have a very misshapen wiener. You sit on the glass jar, and the motherfucker just... And now you have 2 and 3 inch wide glass shards in your anus, in your anal cavity. And now you're profusely bleeding out of your ass.
And he's sitting there like digging it out.
It out. I'm sure as part of the panic, he's realizing he's just had a glass jar bust in his... I need to get this out of here. Oh my God, I can't solve this problem. Of course he went to the fucking hospital.
He survived though. He posted the video.
He went to the hospital. He had to have went to the fucking hospital. Put yourself, imagine you're just sitting in your room and you just sit on a jar and... Oh
my God.
I'm going to the hospital.
Oh my!
Now
you'd have to dial an ambulance, number one, because you couldn't sit to drive.
No, you couldn't do anything. You're going to be sitting motionless in the exact same
As
position,
soon as
you're
it-
still going to be squatted.
He's honestly tough as hell, dude. I wouldn't be able to fucking dig
You're
that shit
still
out.
going to be squatted over where the jar busted. You're not going to move. You're going to hope that you can reach your phone. You're going to hope that you can reach your phone. You have glass in your ass. Rhyme unintended. You have glass in your ass. You need to go to the hospital.
And you're gonna be like, you're gonna hope your front door's unlocked and shit, but you know it ain't.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
they're going to
God.
bust it in.
You're gonna say, dude, imagine
Because they're going to be on the phone with you. It's like, hey, we've got officers at your door. Like, well, their EMS is here. Okay, knock the fucking door down.
Dude, you're on the phone. You're like, hey, 911, what's your emergency? A glass jar just busted in my asshole.
I have a mason jar in pieces in my butt.
Dude, you got to send the cavalry.
And they're just going to go, you watched the fucking video, didn't you?
I was making a part 2.
I was making a part 2. I was making a sequel. Yeah, no thanks.
Supposedly, 2 Girls, 1 Cup was ice cream.
Allegedly.
It still came
Allegedly.
out of their
I still
fucking-
puked.
It still came out of their colon.
I
anyway.
still puked. I did. First time I seen it, I barfed. It's like, God.
Have you seen Angry Grandpa watching it?
Yes.
Where he's sitting there going,
Yes.
oh my God.
Yeah. What are
the
you doing?
fuck?
Still.
At the beginning, you know, it's like, it looks like it's just 2 lesbians making out.
Like
And
you-
he's like, oh shit, what are they doing here? Oh, fuck.
You can say that it was ice cream all you want. I'm still not going to partake in the delicacy of having chocolate ice cream fall out of a woman's asshole.
But the chick's hot, though.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. If I see it come out of that hole, I know what that is, and I ain't fucking touching it.
No, it comes out of the hole. You go, you got any vanilla in there?
Oh, here, let me put some in there for you.
The vanilla is going to come back out chocolate, though.
Oh, I just, it's crazy that like most humans would think that, oh, I'm not going to eat the brown part of the banana, but I'm
Dude.
going to put my tongue in somebody's anus.
This is probably why our generation is way more fucked up than
The internet.
it just absolutely wrecked us, dude.
The internet. Well, the problem is
We've
very
seen way more shit.
desensitized.
To like death and shit, too. Like people getting
like,
killed.
I can watch people get hit by a train and go, oh my God, and then like move on and watch a
that video
Minecraft
where that dude
video.
gets crushed by that elephant's crazy.
Yeah.
He was sitting there hitting it, and then the elephant
Like
just
it's
stomps
nuts
him
that
out.
things that would damn near scar any generation above us. Like if they were to see somebody in the videos that we've seen, like I've seen somebody on the side of a street get a mag of AK-47 ammunition just dumped into their corpse.
Yeah.
And it's like that sticks with me. And then that guy that posted the video of him pulling up in front of like that, it was like a Publix. It looked like a Publix, just a brick building, like it was a grocery store.
Oh, and just AR-15.
He pulls up in like a tan sedan and then just gets out, and you can see him in the mirror, and he gets out and he just bop, 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 starts dropping people and goes into the store and starts dropping people.
Dude,
and
that's
it's like,
crazy.
dude, that sticks with me as a very guttural, very negative,
Yeah.
like I have a very visceral reaction to that. And I understand that is what evil is. So
Have you seen that cartel one where they have this dude on the boat in the ocean, and he's like all taped up, and they have cinder blocks tied to him?
Yeah.
And they just throw the cinder blocks in the water, and then they just dump the dude over the edge.
And it's like that guy's never going to be found again.
Yeah.
Ever.
And that's
Ever.
just on Twitter, just scrolling.
He imploded. He turned to liquid as he got to the bottom. Like he's never going to be found again.
Yeah.
And then we live with that knowledge. We see that shit, and it's like,
And then you just put your phone down and shut up.
welcome to the world, I guess.
It's a lot crazier than what they think it is.
Oh, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy out there. And we have just been blessed with a little patch of semi-stability.
Dude, there's like no stability anywhere.
No, there's no
Shit just
stability anywhere,
constantly-
but this is the best you can get.
as close as you can get to whatever they say normal is.
Well, just like we've mentioned in episodes past, 99% of it's not fucking normal, and 1% of it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But it makes it exciting, though.
it does not make it exciting
To me.
at all.
To me.
I
to me.
can't stand that kind of stuff's going on. Like, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
I'm one man. There's nothing I can do about it. I just have to accept the world that I'm in. And my God, that's the world that I'm in. Okay.
Dude, I really
The cartel's burying people in the sheetrock in people's houses as they build them in Mexico. And it's
I really wish they'd just stop trying to go to war with everybody like all the time.
Wouldn't that be something?
Dude,
Wouldn't that be something?
how about everybody just chills out?
It would blow me the fuck away.
That'd be a great idea.
It'd be
dude.
nuts, wouldn't it?
Dude,
It's almost like the grand idea of any time ever is
Like, just
stop
call
killing each other.
Just call up all these countries that are at war and just be like, guys,
Shut the fuck up.
chill the fuck out, dude.
Do your own thing. And if, hey, you need something from us, you need pencil erasers from us, okay, we'll
That
make
was
'em.
one thing in the news I seen. Ain't Pakistan and China fighting each other now?
Oh, I don't know. I know that Pakistan and India are fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pakistan and India are at war with each other right now. And then Israel's like, well, we're going to start launching bombs. And it's like, okay, how much is that costing you?
And then Russia and fucking Ukraine.
Well, that was supposed to have ended until Putin said, oh, my chopper was attacked. And now I'm going to... I'm just going to start bombing everything.
Israel has that Samson option. They're fucking assholes for that. They're like, if we ever get put in a corner and we're going to go away, we're just going to nuke the rest of the world. What a dickhead move.
Exactly. Like, it's just like, really? Really? Like, my problems are not your problems. Your problems are not my problems.
Well, they live in a shithole area of the country, dude. All they do over there is fight each other.
Well, I think that honestly just becomes that all stems from the culture. That all stems from the culture.
Have you seen Gavin McInnes talk about the Muslim countries? Like 60% of them are inbred and shit too.
It all stems from what is preached and taught in the religion, and it all stems from this just manipulated, man-made bullshit that's not the real thing.
You know, they said the Antichrist was the one that's going to make peace in the Middle East. It says that in the Bible, I think. It's prophesied that the Antichrist would make peace in the Middle East. And they've been at fucking war for a goddamn ever.
I don't know anything about that, so I would have to research that before I was able to give a formulated opinion.
That, and they're supposed to be loved by everybody. That's why it's hard to fucking pinpoint one person down to it. Because we've talked about this before, trying to figure out who it could be. If they're even alive now.
Well, it's hard to when you just about dislike everyone on the planet.
That and
nobody really shines.
If you're famous, somebody hates you too, or like going for political shit, or like trying to actually do something. Somebody somewhere is gonna fucking hate you. Which is why it's hard to pinpoint who the fuck it could be. I said Mr. Beast, but people hate him.
As long as we've been here, we've been saying it's the end of times.
Yes. Do you remember, have you seen like those ancient scribbles on the walls that were like, oh, when this well goes dry, it's the end of times or whatever?
As long as humans have been here,
they're sitting there going,
with our very vague understanding of where we come from.
Everybody's going, it's over, dude.
We've always said it's the end of times. These are the signs. This is prophesized. But it says in the Bible, man cannot predict when God returns.
You know, whenever shit started getting crazy, either that or it just got amplified. It was around what, like 20. It felt like the world's totally different from whenever we were like in middle school and high school to now.
Yeah,
it's like it fucking changed radically. It's like I think it seems way more crazier now than it was, but honestly, if you don't pay attention to it, it ain't. Well, it kind of is, actually.
You go through those cycles. Every generation has its repeat events of history that just happen.
Allegedly.
I mean, hell, when our parents were growing up, the Russians were the worst, like the Red Scare. They were practicing.
But that was just like one
drill.
thing.
Well, it's happened even before then, like World War I, when everybody was attacking.
But that's only like one thing. We've gotten hit by like fucking 10 different things already.
Yeah.
They've only got hit with like what, like the you know what I'm saying? Like we've got hit with like a bunch of. Dude, we got hit with fucking almost tyranny.
That only
during COVID. You remember?
Yes, that only strengthens my opinion that we are getting closer to the end times, but it ain't here yet. Because there's no way. Like, you're going to have to go through a cataclysm on your own, belief systems, your own planet, whatever. You're going to have to go through this serious change. I don't think that the apocalypse is going to happen when the world is in turmoil. When everybody's fighting and everybody's screaming and everybody's causing chaos and blah, 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 blah. Because we're all expecting the end times to come. I think that the end times are going to come when we're in an absolute peace.
The Mayan calendar ended in 2012, right?
Yeah.
And everything after that seemed to go fucking crazy. And another theory is that aren't we entering into the age of Aquarius?
I don't know much about
like
astrological.
We're leaving out of something and going into the age of Aquarius. I think it's like after 2,000 years, and it's been 2,000 years.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that the ancient civilizations had a lot more intellect on what was actually going on spiritually and universally than we do, because we have been essentially propagandized and distracted into an electronic world full of consumerism and just greed, I guess. Like
how the pyramids were built is still. Have you seen that Cleopatra is closer to the invention of the iPhone than when than the fucking whenever the pyramids were built?
Yeah. So it's like our entire understanding of the Egyptian way of life is completely just misstrued. And
do you
wrong.
think they found them too and just moved there?
Yeah, the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids.
So they just found that shit and just moved there. And allegedly,
they found it.
It used to be rainforest, didn't it?
Yeah, all of the desert regions of the world used to be rainforest.
We for real might be a species.
I mean, hell, they have found whale bones in the Sahara Desert.
We for real might be a species with amnesia, dude.
Yeah.
Like there might have been like down to like 200 people, and then they had to rebuild again because like a big rock hit the earth, and we had to reset.
I don't necessarily believe that it was a great rock. I believe that it was the flood.
Oh, but a great rock hit it, and then it flooded. Right?
Well,
would that make sense?
No.
I remember Randall Carlson talked about that. He was like, because weren't there ice like all the way down to like almost fucking Tennessee, right?
If you take all of the water that is on the surface of the earth, whether it's fresh, salt, or ice,
because there is evidence of that flood and shit.
If you melt all of the icebergs, all of the poles, and bring all of the oceans and all the fresh water onto the surface of the earth and try to flood it, there's not enough water. But if you include the amount of water that's under the ground, surface level, or subsurface
He was talking
level.
about years ago. Didn't they study the ground and like there was ice caps from the North Pole all the way down like to like mainland America.
Yeah.
And then he was saying something about a meteor could hit that. They heat up real quick after the meteor hits it, and it floods the rest of the fucking earth.
There's not enough water on the surface of the earth, regardless of how much ice there is. There's not enough water in the atmosphere or on the surface of the earth to flood the earth.
But it melted.
Yeah, you could melt it and cause a pretty serious cataclysm, but it's not going to flood the earth the way that we are meant to believe it from the Bible.
They don't just talk about the Great Flood in just the Bible either.
No,
they talk about it in like
that is a serious.
Every religion has a story about a great flood.
Has a flood myth.
Some shit hit the fan back then.
There was some, and I listened to a guy that was talking about like all the measurements of the water on the earth. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
All the water on the earth and all the oceans and all the ice caps, you could melt all of that down, it still wouldn't flood the earth. So it took a cataclysm of some sort or an action of some sort to bring the water that is in the core of the earth up. Anything that's subterranean, below the ground, up. And if you include all of the water that's in the earth and bring it up to the surface, there is more than enough to flood the entire earth.
But back to the pyramids too. How the fuck did they do that?
I personally believe that.
Why don't they dig underneath too? Because what the fuck is there shit, dude? They said their shit. That shit just came and went. There's like shit 2 kilometers underneath the fucking pyramid. Shit goes down that far.
I would say.
What is it, dude?
In my opinion? Now I'm not an expert.
There must have been a civilization that was farther along than us.
I've never been there, so I can't talk about it. So I can. What was that
I'm
British
confused.
guy that was on the JRE? He's like, how can you call yourself an expert if you've never been there?
That dude could suck an ass.
It was so fucking funny. Did you? I don't want to rabbit trail. Hang on. Let me stay on point.
What is
here.
your opinion on the pyramid? How did they do that,
I
dude?
believe that the pyramids and all of these ancient civilizations that don't exist anymore were built from mankind that existed before Noah, because there was a time of great evil.
What if it was lizard people?
When the angels that were here, the casted out angels were here on the planet, and they were teaching mankind about fire and metal and alchemy. Sorry, they were teaching mankind about all this stuff.
And they slept with them,
and they created the Nephilim, and there was a great time of darkness and evil and things that man were not ready for were being taught by the angels that God had created. So he chose somebody, Noah, he was still true to the path. Okay, I've made this mankind that is evil and they are after me. They're creating the Tower of Babel. I need to just wipe all of this out and start again with a true family that knows their actual right path. And then it goes from there. You have the descendants of Ham and Shem. Shem? Yeah, I think Shem was the name. And they all just move. You can see as you watch, like one goes to Africa, one goes east, one goes west, and it starts forming the colonies of the world, and all the cultures and everything starts to brew from there. That's what I see.
Have you noticed Native Americans look Asian?
Yes. There's everything that's there. I don't think that there was any alien involvement. I don't think that there was any, significant.
But then again, what if we are the aliens, dude? Because we're so much different than everything else on the Earth.
We are.
We're like alien to this planet. We do
are.
shit way differently than literally every other creature on the Earth.
But then you look at the deep sea. Have you ever watched a deep sea documentary?
Oh, dude, those things look crazy. Those are aliens.
What
in
is
there too.
that?
But they don't have consciousness.
Who's to say they don't? Who's to say they don't?
They say they've been trying to decipher dolphin language for years.
Who's to say they don't? Dolphins are an extremely intelligent species.
And they said that ain't their brain like 4 times as big as ours?
Yes. Yeah. And they have communication. Whales have communication. Birds have communication. Every animal on this planet has a form of communication. Who's to say?
We just can't decipher it.
You know, how can you have a form of communication and understanding of that communication without having a piece of consciousness?
Yeah, and you can tell dogs are way more conscious than a lot of other animals.
Yeah. You can train a dog. Your dog is smart. There's thought behind those eyes. There's thought there. It understands. That's a form of consciousness. That doesn't just happen by chance.
I'm saying, but there's higher levels too.
Yes. And that is the purpose. Man is given dominion over the earth.
We get to sit here and have to question why I think you're right. Your point is right. We're never going to figure this shit out.
And
dude.
we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to. This is beyond your feeble mind. But
I'm getting close.
I've given you the ability to look at the world that you live in, look at the things that you live around, here, and you have a guttural instinct on how to live in harmony with that. It's up to you, aka free will, to decide how you want to live your life. I've given you free will. Live your life how you want to live it. Make the decisions that you want to make. But you always have a guttural instinct on what you're supposed to be doing and the way you're supposed to be living life.
Yeah, your gut tells you.
And you just know. You just know. I mean, hell, you can look at a fly on the wall and know that fly is looking at you. And that fly understands what you are.
Right. You do have a feeling. If you're not doing the right thing, you got that feeling.
There's
in your
a
gut
feeling
like,
there. There's
you're
anxiety.
You're not where you're supposed to be.
There's a guttural feeling. There's a guttural reaction that comes with that. Like, you're not supposed to be doing this. But you're going to do it anyways. And I'm going to allow you to do it because I gave you free will.
Yeah.
All right. So make your decision.
And then it ends up fucking you later.
And
you're
then
like,
you
damn,
get fucked,
that
and
bad
then you
decision.
go, God, why did I not stick to this train of thought that would have put me in a better situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, God's a gesture. He was, I told you.
Yeah.
I fucking told you. You were supposed to stay on
Because
this
it
path.
always comes back
It
around. But if you're
always
always doing the
comes
right
back.
thing, good shit always comes to you, though.
If
most
you
of the
live your life,
In truth
In just-
vibration, dude. In truth.
yes. And see, that's the big thing that actually confuses the fuck out of me. Is I think that, well, let me back up a little bit. Most people would think that, okay, you pay attention to rocks and vibrations and frequencies.
Everything's vibrating.
And synchronicities and all this bullshit. Okay, you're a hippie and you're fucking weird. Well, hang on.
It's scientifically proven.
Let's take a step back.
Everything's vibrating
Okay.
now. That's the first point.
If God created everything in harmony, everything's made up of atoms. I'll give
spinning
that to
around.
science. It has made, that we know that. Okay, so we know that everything's made up of atoms. Everything is made up in a vibrational frequency. Every material is just atoms formed in a different way.
And I've heard people, like Sam Tripoli always says shit like that. He says shit like porn, jerking off, shit like that. He's like, that's low vibrational shit.
Yes, that is a very impulsive, self-pleasuring, you're only living through your body. You're not
Yeah.
living through your mind.
Yeah. That's low vibrational shit.
Low vibration.
And War Mode's talked about the truth vibration too. About if you're living in truth and you're just doing nothing but trying your best and telling the truth, then everything's fucking like the synchronicities start happening and everything
Yes.
starts lining up.
So, in today's world, biggest plague, porn,
Gambling.
indulgent gambling. You're living by your body. You're living by the chemicals that are just there in
Food.
your body. Food. So you're living by all that. And then you go back to Richard Nixon. Everybody's on psychedelics. Everybody's on drugs. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's getting high all the fucking time. Well, what do psychedelics do? They open your mind.
Open your mind,
So,
Quaid.
and now here you are. You're focusing your entire life on just going into your mind. You're just going into your mind. Well, okay. Well, that's not the best way to do it either. You can't choose one or the other.
Who
You
came
have
up with
to-
the saying gut feeling?
You have to balance both of them.
Yeah.
You have to balance mind and body.
And then spirit.
Do a little stuff over here to help your mind. Do a little stuff over here to help your body. Put them in sync.
Have you done that shit? Has it started doing for you too? Like if you don't work out for like 2 or 3 days, you're like, I'm being a piece of shit.
I am 7 or 8 days. I've lost track. 7 or 8 days without working out.
And you're like, I'm a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. You start thinking about yourself differently.
You're like, man, I'm getting weak. I'm turning into a pussy. This
I
is
don't necessarily
ridiculous.
think that I'm feeling weak. I've been really, really busy. I've been coming home really, really tired, sore. I've had this back thing going on.
Do you
So
do
I'm
that
just
shit
like-
too, where you sit down and you look at your weights and shit for like 30 minutes before you even start? Sometimes too, where you're like, I don't want to do it, but
No,
I got
if
to.
I'm picking up my weights, I'm picking up my weights
And doing 'em.
That's yeah.
Okay.
that's-
I need
that's
to
the
start
way that
getting
I
like
am.
that.
If I have my weights in my hands, it's time.
Weave back. Hold on. You were going off about basically the truth vibration or everything. What was the point we were making? It was about consciousness, and then everything's vibrating, and you live in I don't know.
Balance.
Yeah, balance.
You
all that
have
shit.
to. Because, you could pick either path, and our mind is capable of picking either path. You might think that, okay, I'm just going to take all of these psychedelics. I'm going to take mushrooms. I'm going to smoke weed. I'm going to consume a little bit of alcohol because, let's face it, alcohol in low doses, really good for you.
Yeah.
Really good for you. High doses, not so much.
No.
Everything in moderation. So, I'm going to live in my mind. Okay, well, the world starts to look at you as just being lazy. You're a hippie. You're a tree hugger. You're doing all this. You're all spiritual, and you're humping rocks. Doing this kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, you've went a little too far. And then you can go into your body, and then, okay, well, I'm very into pleasure. I'm very into maybe you're a bodybuilder with an extremely high ego, and I've chosen my body. My body's the reason I'm here, and blah. No. Well, when it comes to consciousness, you have to balance those two. You have to. You can't choose one path or the other. You have to find a way to balance.
Key to success: become a jack scientist.
Essentially,
Yeah.
yes. You want to be intelligent. You want to be calm. You want to be patient. You want to know things. But you also want to know that you have the physical capability to do anything that your life may require. So you have to practice your body, and you have to practice your mind, and you have to practice your spirit.
Yeah.
Your spirit is what you get to encounter when you sit in silence for an hour or two in the evenings. When you really sit down for about an hour, maybe 2 in the evenings, depending on how long it takes you to get really settled down, you have to practice these things. Every aspect of your consciousness has to be practiced.
It's like whenever you get home from like a long day of work and you don't immediately get up and go inside, you just sit in your car for like 5 minutes.
There are points in your life where you're being told to sit down in silence and just think.
Reflect.
There's your spirit. Okay. Oh, God. All right. I got that figured out. Now, I need to go work out and do my body. I've done my spirit. Now I need to do my body. And then before bed, you take you a big hit off of a joint somewhere, or take you a mushroom, do something. Now you're doing your mind. And that lulls you into, okay, all 3 are balanced. I get to wake up the next day, do it again. And every day's a test. Every day is, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you guide yourself down the path that you need to be on, that you know you're supposed to be on?
And there's some times where you just want to fucking drop it all, get your backpack, put a couple things of clothes in it, and just say, I'm fucking gone.
There are days that you just want to.
I've thought about that. Like
quit.
I've thought about that before where I've literally just went like, dude, I'm just going to put all my shit in this. I'm going to take one little book bag, put whatever I fucking need to in there, take up my fucking money in my wallet and just go. Because I'm fucking done with this shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like that shit is ass.
And then that reality kicks back in. All right, if I do this, I'm going to have to do that and that and that and that. And there's your common sense coming into play. Yeah. There's all this shit I'm going to have to deal with doing that. That's not worth my time. That's not worth the thought process to go through that. Back up. Deal with this. Whatever I'm feeling right now, dig into it. Deal with it. Okay, now. Next day, restart. Mind, body, spirit. Every fucking day. Every day. It doesn't end. It doesn't go away. You don't just have one day where you just get enlightened and you know everything in the universe and you don't have to do anything anymore. That's not the way we're made.
Have you ever heard that one theory too, that this is just hell?
Yes. Yes, I've heard the theory that we have to live through hell before we get to experience heaven. And what is the common theory of hell? You live the same thing every fucking day.
Yeah, and it's no fun.
Here we are.
But there also is fun shit to do, though.
Here we are. Well, I mean, you have to have a little bit of slack in the stream.
Yeah.
Because you have to formulate those thoughts. You have to invoke those emotions. You have to. It's all by design. It's all by design. There has to be bad to make you understand and realize and see the good. So you got to go through the bad. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with this bullshit. You're going to have to deal with this before you can have this. But the whole time you're going through hell, you're formulating your thoughts and your beliefs and your outlooks.
I've compared this shit to prestiging in Call of Duty. No, like, I know what you're talking about. Do you know, like, whenever you're leveling up in Call of Duty, you get to 55, you can either stay at 55 or you can prestige.
Yeah.
So I wonder, in prestige, and you lose everything, restart.
You put all of that effort and time and
then something comes
memories
in. Like whenever Savannah broke up with me, I was level 55. Like then, and basically after she broke up with me, that's prestige. Like you're back level 1.
Yep.
Got knocked down in the fucking dirt, restart. You're back to level 1, but you prestige because you learned something.
Now here you are with the experience that you gained
'Cause
to this point.
That all that shit taught you a lesson. So you learned something, prestige. And then I wonder if like whenever bad shit happens and you learn a huge fucking lesson from it, like you change jobs, something like that. You're basically just prestiging, and because you're having to restart the whole
You're
fucking
changing
thing.
your life.
Yeah.
You're realizing the path that you know you're supposed to be following.
Yeah.
And change can be scary. That's
all
what a
that
lot of
stuff-
people struggle with, is that the change
I've
is
noticed
scary.
that a lot of people don't like.
They do not like to change. They don't want to change. They don't, because the fear sets in. Oh God,
They're
what
anxious
if it
about it.
doesn't work out? What if it doesn't work out? What if
I've
it
gotten to
doesn't
the
do
point to
this?
where, because I noticed I know about 2 or 3 people that are real scared of change in my life, and I'm like, oh, I'm not like that though. I noticed, I think whenever I was young, where I was like, change, it's always going to be good. Sometimes it might be fucking bad, but
If it's bad, it was meant to teach you something.
my best thing about it, I think, or like the only thing I can talk about change is like, it's basically like ripping the fucking Band-Aid off and doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just, all right, this is what's happening now. This is what I'm doing. We're doing. I'll figure it out.
I tell you, I just on the surface level want change. I want something to go on in my life that is extraordinary, that's going to change my life, that's going to make me get closer to the life that I want. In my feeble human mind, my thought is I'm just going to start racking out applications to jobs at better places. Better pay, better benefits, better. Well, the other day, I got a text. Hey, are you still interested in this position at so-and-so? And what was I doing in that moment?
Sitting in that room.
No.
dude.
I was standing in the cafe
Oh yeah, you
getting my lunch made by Marcus, who works the grill over at TVA Cafe. Makes me a fine double meat Philly cheesesteak wrap for lunch every day. Love that guy. 5'4" little black dude.
Shout out to Marcus.
Fat as hell. Love him to death. Love him, but known him for years. And I was standing there with my arm perched on the little rack. It's got all the Kit Kats and stuff. They got impulse buys there in the little cafe too. So I just leaned up on that. My phone dinged, and I picked up my phone and said, hey, are you still interested in this position, so-and-so? And I just looked at the text, put the phone back in my pocket, and looked at what I was doing. The job that I have, the days that I have. And I just got, man, I'm having my lunch made by a guy that I like. He knows me. He treats me well, And I enjoy what I do. And I just stood there for a second, and I thought, I'm scared of the change. I'm scared of because look at what I got. I got a cheesecake job.
You're about to
In this very moment, dude, I'm getting spoiled as hell.
see, but you like what you're doing though, so you're good
I
though.
like what I do. I don't like who I do it for.
Yeah, but you don't have to talk to them that much, do you?
No, I don't have to talk to them. But even then, when it comes to the ultimate goal of my life and my accomplishments,
You don't want to be doing that shit.
I don't want to be doing that.
Yeah, you don't want to work for somebody you don't
I
like.
don't want to have to be doing. I don't want to have to get up at 4:30 every fucking day and come do this bullshit, crawl under floors, hurt my back, pull wires that ain't. I don't want to have to do this bullshit.
Yes.
I only do this because it keeps my fucking lights on.
Yes.
I don't want this. You know what I want to do? I want to experience what it is to be a blade of grass. That's what I like. I just want to just feel peace and quiet, and I get to do what I want to do. But here we are in the material world. You kind of have to live by the rules. Do what hell is saying, I guess.
Basically, be a slave.
Do what hell is saying, but understand that it's not what you want.
Yeah.
You know the whole time, this is not what I want, but I'm going to do it because I have to. Gonna have to, and it's a process. Every day is a process. Every day you wake up, and every thought's a chain reaction to your next thought and your next discovery and your next epiphany, and it goes on every single day.
Over the past about, I'd say since February, end of February, I don't want to do this shit no more, dude. Yeah. But I'm like, I have to be doing. I'm working on this. Like trying to, because we're working on this.
This is us working on this.
But I'm saying like this is like the Holy Grail. Save us, please. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that a lot of it boils down to genuine conversation.
But I'm saying like what I do now. God, I'm like,
it's
dude,
not fun. You don't
do
enjoy it. You don't want to do it, but you do it and you're good at it, and
you get paid well, and you're good.
It brings the money in, and unfortunately, money is the construct of this entire world. So I guess if money is the root of all evil, well, the entire world's fucking evil. I may as well get a little piece of that to do what I want to do in the time that I have.
And with inflation, dude, all that money that we have saved up is just losing its
That's just
fucking
an unnecessary
value,
consequence to the greed of the people that live in this world. That is an unnecessary consequence to those of us that actually understand what we want to be doing and living the lives that we want to do. But Satan and greed are taking over the world, and that just makes it harder on those of us that actually know what we want to be doing.
Yeah. I'd love to just do this for a living. If I made the same amount I make now at work and all we had to do is do this, I would quit my fucking job.
If I could make $35 an hour sitting here doing this, I would be doing it every fucking day, because I get to talk and actually dive into the way that I feel about things and go from there. And it's just like, but there again, in our world, that's, for us in this position that we're currently in, that's an unrealistic option.
For now.
You always have to have that hope. You always have to have that hope. You have to envision it. You have to see it. You have to move along. Just take it day by day, process by process, and just move on. And you go on. You're going to catch shit. You're going to have people that try to tear you down. You're gonna go through these processes, and all of these processes lead you down a train of thoughts that bring you ultimately to the right decision.
Yeah,
that's everything is already pre-made. I believe that. It's just,
I don't know, dude.
Everything's pre-made. It's just our job to figure out the pre-made process. It's there, and then when these things happen, like significant events in your life, they happen, you go, God, I seen that.
And then you can make decisions and shit. I feel like, see, I don't know if there's multiple, like the multiple universes and shit, but like there's decisions you make where you can either go down this path, and there's like a million little like splintering paths that you can choose. And then, like, you only chose that, like, one.
I'm not saying there's a concrete, hearted path. One path that you get to take. Like fucking the Marvel movies where the caped guy is saying we only have one chance to defeat Thanos. Like, I'm not saying there's one path that you have to follow. But there's a series of events in your life that's going to lead you down a different chain of thoughts and different things. And ultimately, it's a little bit wider path, but it all ultimately leads to the same goal.
What's that shit called? Where there's I think this is totally off topic, but like where there's a ton of different answers to a question that are like real complicated, and it says go with the answer that's the most simple, and it's probably the right answer.
I don't know.
It's like the something effect. I forget what it's called, but I've seen that shit the other day in a YouTube video.
You're not talking about the butterfly effect.
No. This is just like it involves like answering a question. It's totally off topic.
Well, like any answer is going to lead you to a dozen plus
more questions,
situations, and then with a dozen different situations, you have a quintupled amount of questions. Like, okay, well, shit, now I've got to take all of this into consideration or that into consideration to make the next decision to do this.
What's funny is, too, even thinking about it now, about like making decisions and shit like that. Imagine I never asked Denise for her phone number at all. And just, I would like know no difference right now. But now that I did, it's like, damn, you've
Now
started
you get to experience a different series of emotions and thoughts
and
that
events
lead you
and
down
like
this path.
and it ending up in different places than I would be
yes,
if I didn't do that.
yes, you get to experience this series of events, and then whether it works out or whether it doesn't, you get to be led down another series of thoughts or events that guide you
Dude,
towards a different
if
feeling.
this one's just another lesson, I'm gonna be pissed.
Every
for a
one
minute.
of them is a lesson.
I'm saying, like,
even if
I get my heart broke again, dude, I'm gonna be pissed.
Not even that. If you were to pick up this woman and live the rest of your life and have children with her and raise a family and live your life the way that you want, by the time you get to the end of your life, you're going to say, that was a lesson.
Yeah.
That was a lesson. I figured it out. Now I'm happy. I'm on my deathbed. I'm dying. My kids are grown. They got their own families. I got my grandkids. That was the lesson. The lesson is, ha ha ha, you figured it out.
That one path. Yeah.
You figured it. You figured it out. You raised your family. You did it right. You played true. You did this all these years. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. And then it could, at any point, if it turns sour and it goes south, and then you move on, it's okay. There's your other lesson. So you can't really have a visceral, angry emotion towards the things that you're taught in this life and the people that come into your life and teach you things and show you things and give you emotions that you didn't think you would have any care about. You could be angry. You could sad. It doesn't matter. It's still teaching you something.
Yeah.
It's still teaching you something. So even if you get to the end of your life with this woman and everything worked out and you know that you lived your life the way you wanted to. So it's just not us. It's not up to us to decide. We just have to go through this process of events and thoughts and to ultimately get to the same goal. And that same goal, which is...
Where do you think you would be right now if you never went through the HVAC school shit?
I didn't go through HVAC.
No, I meant like the 1-year certificate or something, right? Where do you think you'd be at now if you didn't ever follow down this path of like heat and air and shit?
I wouldn't have went down this path had it not been for my youngin being born. Or being,
That shit probably taught you.
Announced.
Speaking of lessons, it probably taught you a lot immediately, like responsibility immediately.
My plan at that time was nothing. I was working at a hardware store, just living day by day, going to high school, like didn't care, and then it was that one being
God
said,
being a jester walked up to you with a
Hey,
big old
now-
thing of papers, and he said, "Here's your homework, brother."
now you have a serious responsibility.
Yeah.
Have fun, figure it out, and that's the process that I'm on. Because
And that shit was tough but that shit was probably stressful and tough as fuck in the beginning, dude. You were probably freaking the fuck out at the very beginning
you
of all
have
that
no
shit.
absolute idea. I don't even want to get into it.
How long did it take for the waters to settle where you were like, okay, I got it now, I'm good?
I'm going to disclose public information.
Like a year?
Disclose my personal information to the public a little bit. No, it took 6 months.
And that water settled.
It took 6
And you're
months because somebody called my parents. Lauren and I had broke up.
Oh, yeah, that whole
I
story
was
and all
so
that shit.
scared that everything, I'm fixing to be a dad. I got a kid on the way. And
We
I'm
were
not
playing
ready for
Origins.
I hadn't told my parents. I was freaking out.
God.
Somebody got in touch with my parents, told them, hey, what's going on? Here's all the details. Next thing I know, Lauren's here.
So it takes about 6 months for the water to settle. Okay.
It took, well, no, I was,
Because I'm going to just bust it out
I
in this
knew,
chick.
I knew what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to do, but I was so afraid to pick up that hammer and charge the warpath because I didn't have the confidence in myself that I was going to be able to provide and be a good dad. And I'm working in a hardware store for $8 an hour. So I had this big, I was undermining myself hard.
Like life changed
Scared to death because I just now graduated high school. I'm working at a hardware store. Oh my God, what do I do? So I took up a couple extra steps, found myself into a little bit better path that could provide for that until I figured it out. And then everything since then has just been a constant series of events that have led me to different thoughts and different realizations and different experiences and memories. And now here I am. I don't have everything figured out at all. But I know every day that I wake up, it's a test. Are you going to stay true to what you think and what you believe and what you're going to do? You're going to do this. So every day's a test. Do you stray? Yes, you stray. You stray hard. Because what's the biggest temptation? Satan. Your impulses. You have impulsive thoughts. You have impulsive emotions. You want to get angry. You want to fight these things. You don't, you just want to go live out in the sticks and not do anything. You just want to turn into a vegetable. Like, it's there, that always. But every day it's a test of your character. Being a father, being a husband, trying to be the best friend that you can be to everybody that's in your life that you've decided to bring into your circle. And being able to take everybody's opinions and emotions and things that they say all into account. It's just a test every day. You have to look through these things. It's like sifting through an old file cabinet, Like, it's all there. You just have to wait until it pops up in front of you.
Yeah, and your subconscious tells you.
Yeah.
I think that's your gut feeling. All the shit that you've witnessed. And allegedly, our DNA, right, carries like past memories, from what I've heard, right?
There have been
so all of our ancestors, like deep down memories of like everything that they witnessed, that's in our brains technically, right?
There have been theories that have shown you're capable of carrying traits, emotions, aspects, whatever it may be, from your ancestors. That has been proven.
And you probably never even met them before.
And you don't know it. Because it's all just in your unconscious mind.
And they've been dead a long time ago.
There are thoughts, there are memories that, have you ever noticed that you just sit in a chair sometimes and you'll just be sitting looking off into the distance and just thinking, or maybe asking yourself a question. Maybe you're going through something that's a little difficult and you ask yourself a question and you look for the answer. And suddenly an answer pops into your head. You may even say it out loud and go,
yes, that happens a lot.
That wasn't me. I didn't say that. That thought came out of the fucking blue. That wasn't me. And you sit there and you think about that thought for a second. Like, how did I even think of that? How did I even come to that conclusion? And you feel better. It makes you feel better because it almost makes you feel like you found the right answer.
And have you noticed this too? I've noticed this in some like younger people, like my sister too. Like a lot, you can notice some people are wiser beyond their years, which is odd.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder where they get that shit from. Because whenever you're young, you really ain't been through like a bunch of fucking shit yet to like make you wise.
Well,
I wonder if that comes from like generational passed down, or if it's just pattern recognition or street smart or logic. I don't know where it comes from, or if it's just in your subconscious.
It all boils down into the fact that we are all different people. We're all the same but different. Same but different.
Yeah, because everybody goes through different shit.
We all experience the exact same things, just in a different way.
Yeah,
that's just the way it goes. But it's all up to our own individual selves.
Like what way you go about it.
How we carry ourselves about it.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. Some people may be born with a little bit higher tune in to, okay, this is intuition.
Yeah.
Intuition. You think about things a little bit differently and you're able to guide yourself more into the situations you want to be in.
And usually you can see how shit's gonna play it. Like if you like watch other people or like talk to like other people, you usually can. You have a feeling of like how something's gonna go.
It's a crazy little superpower called being self-aware.
It like you like know deep in your head, you're like, I know how that's gonna go, and that's not gonna end good. Like they might be happy right now, but in your back of your head, and you don't want to tell them either because you're like, hey, this is not gonna end good. But you don't want to say nothing.
Yeah, no, you have a gut feeling because you know it's not your place to try to guide or determine someone else's life.
Yeah.
It's not your place.
And you're just like, I guess they're just going to have to figure that
It's
out.
not your place to tell somebody how they should think or how they should be doing
And
something.
I always feel like if you were to go up to somebody and be like, hey, I know everything's good right now, but I don't like what you're doing and shit. It's not going to end good. I feel like that's being a dickhead, but you're trying to help them.
Always carry the thought that shit could go south real quick.
Yeah.
I always need to be prepared for anything. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yeah. And you can't be rattled at that point.
You can't. You prepare and you just go through all of the dark options that could be. All right, this could lead me down this path, or this event could really screw me up. Okay, I need to think about this. All right, what's coming after that? Okay, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'm just going to see how things go. And that's where you get into that it is what it is mentality. Everybody goes through that spell. It is what it is. It does what it does. The life just goes on and you move. And then you get hit with this headbutt of a fucking event that shakes your whole world, changes your thought pattern. Next thing you know, you're living by your heart and your gut. And, well, hot damn, everything's going pretty well. And it all boils down to, do you stick to that? Do you stick to that heart and gut? Do you stick to what you know is right? Do you stick to what you know you need to be doing? Or do you let your impulses take over? And you start doing this, and you start staying out a little later, and, oh, hey, you met another girl at the bar, and, oh, you're a married man. How dare you? Oh, the excitement's there.
When it's exciting, dude, if you do this shit.
Here's a taste of temptation. Here's a, come back to this side. Come back to this side. This is where the fun's at.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the fun's at. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because that's, like you said, a negative vibration.
And karma is just going to come back and just blast you, dude. That you get caught doing that shit, you lose everything. You're back. That's like hitting fresh restart on Call of Duty.
That is by design. That is by design.
It's like the worst shit you do, the consequences for it are just as bad.
The Old Testament of the Bible says that God is an unforgiving and hating God. If you don't follow him, you will be smited and turned to dust. You will die in the depths of hell. And then now it's kind of like, okay, well, that's old knowledge. He sent his son, Jesus, to come save us all, but who's to say none of that's still there? You give in to your temptation and your unloyalties.
Karma's always going to get
and
you,
this
though.
evil. Well, I've created this system over here it'll really show you how it goes.
I think I've noticed most of my life too. If you're living on that negative vibration, you're never going to get away with it either.
You're constantly anxious. You're constantly angry. You're constantly looking for more and more.
I don't know of anybody that's like
starts to take over.
Actually gotten away with it. Like, say if you do some shit like that, you never end up getting away with it.
You don't.
Like if you say you're a drug dealer, say you're cheating on somebody, say you're doing drugs or something, you're eventually going to get wrecked, dude.
Yeah, it all comes back to greed takes over first. You want more.
I wonder if there's anybody that's actually just gotten the fucking away with it.
Nobody. You don't get away with it. You might get away with it in the material world.
For now.
Here.
Yeah.
You might get away with it here. But on your deathbed, you're going to have that astounding realization. You fucked up.
Yeah.
Now deal with the consequences. You fucked up.
At the very end, just be on the deathbed and just be like, honey, I cheated on you. Then just pass away.
Well, I mean, that's a guilt that you carry.
Yeah, and see the guilt, that would nearly kill you.
That's
like
a
if you
guilt
do shit
that
like
you
that.
carry. You cannot. You know, in your heart, you're not supposed to carry that guilt.
And that's that feeling you were talking, the truth vibrating, like living in the truth. You know, whenever you're living right, and that you're always going to be carrying that guilt forever until it comes
You
out.
gave into your.
Is that why
impulses.
killers fucking have to fucking tell somebody? Like, have you noticed a lot of people that are like serial killers? They like have to tell somebody after a while. They're like, I have to tell somebody I did this.
There's been a large majority of them that have come clean because they had a sense of guilt and it got too far. They made a realization. They had an experience.
Not even
that
come
told
clean.
them
A lot of them
something.
were like brag about it. Like they want to brag about it and shit.
If you're bragging about it,
But then they get caught and have to go to jail for the rest of their life. So
well,
they're cooked.
if you're bragging about the fact that you're taking human life and giving in to your impulses or trying to experience a certain emotion or something, then, well, I just have to say that you're the epitome of evil.
Yeah.
You're just the epitome of evil. You are what I'm supposed to be looking out for.
A freaking psychopath, dude.
Is somebody that's compromised.
Yeah, that means there's something fucked up in their
Compromised.
brain. What do they say? Psychopaths, their brains don't develop emotion.
Yeah, they don't.
Like, so they can't ever get connected to nothing.
And see, the part that really screws me up is you can see that shit real early. Is because they always start out as kids and start murdering cats.
And they like set shit on fire and shit.
Set shit on fire and start having, they have a fascination with knives or weapons. And it's like, you can see that shit real early. But you don't ever, as a parent, want to say that your kid's evil.
Yeah. Dude, if I had a kid that started setting shit on fire and killing animals, I'd be like, what would you do?
You do, yeah, exactly. That every parent in history that has ever come in contact with somebody that was evil like
You're
that
going to be sitting there like,
doesn't want to give their kid up
here, move the mouse a little bit.
because they have a guttural instinct that tells them, oh my God, this is the epitome of evil.
Yeah.
This is what my gut has told me to look out for our entire lives. But it's my child. I can't give up my
Why
child.
would the woman's egg choose that sperm? Because doesn't the woman's egg choose which one?
No.
Or is it just first one wins?
I mean, there's a possibility that it may have some discretion as to which one's stronger in your, little billions of
Tadpoles.
that's going up there, It might have a little bit of discretion as far as like, all right, which one's got better quality? Okay, I'm going to pick that one. But I think it picks really quick. And
Yeah, as soon as one of those little...
and it's, strength. All right, I'm taking that one. Well, that strength was in physical capability, but you didn't give it any emotion. Now you have a psychopath.
Yeah.
It's not up to our biological
And I wonder...
aptitudes to
Because they talk
determine who our
about
kids are.
a lot of shit happens in the womb. Like whenever you're developing in the womb, is how you end up, how you are.
There is an unbelievable...
You know, my mom she hates seafood. Whenever she was fucking pregnant with me, I love seafood. Whenever she was pregnant with me, she fucking started eating seafood like all the fucking time. I thought that was crazy. So that means I was in there going, shrimp, crab, please.
There's an unbelievable effect that the female body has on children as they're growing.
They make miracles, dude, and they take it for look. Never mind. I ain't gonna get into the whole fucking abortion thing, dude. They take that shit for granted, and that shit pisses me off. Look,
that's a spark of life. That's
women can have abortion. I don't give a fuck, but that shit pisses me off.
Well, if we're gonna get on to that topic, I dislike it.
Yeah,
I do not support
it.
it.
But I don't want to say nothing.
I don't support it at all.
Have you heard Joe Rogan talking about that one? He had that one woman. She was showing. Dude. She was like 4 months in and she had one. That's wild to me. That's not cool. At a certain point, Jesse, it ain't cool. Like, the dude from Virginia that Jones was talking about on Rogan. we're gonna take care. The governor, we're gonna take care of the baby after 9 months, or we're gonna take care of the whatever it is, and it'll be comfortable. And it's like after the mom's pushed it out and every fucking thing.
I do not support it if it is being taken under the belief that it's my body, my choice.
Yeah,
I do not support that decision making to lead you to that decision.
because that's a body too. To me,
That's a human.
Yeah.
That's a life. If you're deciding to go out every weekend and get fucked, and you're just letting dudes do this thing, and
that's the consequences.
and you choose, I don't care. I'm just gonna go get an abortion. That's wrong. That's evil.
Your womb will be haunted for the rest of your life.
But if you're in the situation that you're just an innocent person, female in this particular instance, and an unfortunate circumstance happens, maybe you get taken advantage of, maybe you get raped,
yeah,
then within reason, you don't have to keep that.
get it done quick.
That's not, get it done quick. Get it done quick, please. But that's an unfortunate situation. You do not need to be put in that situation because it was not your decision to do that. You were forced. That I can understand.
Have you heard what female chimpanzees? Have you heard that documentary? They strapped a female chimpanzee down, and they just let dudes come in. The dude chimpanzees come in and just rape her. And whenever she had the kid, she ripped it apart whenever it came out and
It was
destroyed
not
it.
her decision.
Yeah, she killed
Wasn't her decision.
the baby.
So it's that I can understand. If it's not your decision, if it wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Consensual.
But like you said, dude, if you're going out getting fucking nutted in and shit, you know what the fuck you're doing, and you know what the
what you're doing,
And there
and
also
you know
is,
what the consequences
there's also
are.
fucking birth control everywhere.
And yet here you are taking advantage of this very evil practice to destroy human life.
What is, dude?
Just to give in to your impulses.
Isn't the Planned Parenthood logo like this evil ass?
Yes.
What was it? Was it like the image of like some kind of like old ass evil shit? It was like the god.
Look it up.
The god of like taking fucking like sacrifice and shit.
I see. I'm gonna look it up.
Planned Parenthood logo fucking comparison. I bet you it's on Twitter. They got all the good stuff on there.
I'm gonna have to put conspiracy at the end of this, just to make it make sense. To find the things that you want to find. Of course, Google's probably not going to show us what we want to see, anyways.
Google.
Planned Parenthood's logo worse than Confederate flag. Politico.com.
I don't know, but I remember I heard about that shit on
Yeah,
War
I don't
Mode.
know. That would take too long, I guess, to find.
Yeah. Ain't on there.
But I just, you're giving in to your bodily impulses, and evil has created a way to circumvent the natural actions of
The
life.
thing is, too, I know what I'm doing, and if I were to accidentally get a chick pregnant, I would immediately be like, oh, well, looks like I gotta fucking lock in and settle down with this one, and you're coming with me.
It's an obligation.
Yeah.
It's an obligation. Everybody gets to experience that in a different way. I happen to experience it with a woman that I thoroughly enjoy. I thoroughly enjoy my woman. We have a lot in common. We know each other. Our humor is the same. When we get to have a good time, thoroughly enjoy it. But if you give in to your impulses and you get hooked up with somebody that you don't necessarily enjoy, now here comes the consequences of life. That's where
You could just have like a bitch ass hateful baby mother
That's
too.
where you
That's
get.
very unfortunate.
That's your test. That's your test.
Yeah.
Hey, do you give in to your impulses? Bust in a warm spot, or move on?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do? Here you go.
Busting a warm spot every time, dude.
And yeah, there you go. And I'll watch you go down that path and say, you'll figure it out.
I'll say, look at little Hagen running around.
Wouldn't that be the end of the
He's
world?
black.
Woo! Do not introduce him to our PlayStation recorded party sessions.
Dude, PlayStation Network's going to ruin my marriage.
Yes. Now that they've started recording everything. Ugh, what a nightmare.
The 3-piece what meal?
What an Orwellian nightmare we live in, though, every day.
The 3-piece what meal, dude, is all I know.
Cheese and egger. McDonald's was fire for that one.
Papa John. Yeah, he done that shit too. And I worked for him.
Yeah, you did.
That was one of my favorite jobs I've ever had, honestly.
Really?
Working in a pizza shop was awesome.
I didn't even come close to a pizza shop, but I got to experience Fazoli's and
Just
Fuck
pounded breadsticks,
Fuck
dude,
that.
with fucking Alfredo sauce. Dude, I
That
sat back
was-
there and washed dishes for at least 6 months.
because I would throw stale breadsticks at you throughout the shift. Ones that hadn't been cooked straight from the freezer and just toss breadsticks back there.
Being a busboy's ass, dude.
That was bad, but I did enjoy the tips.
I do. They took
That was the
those
first
away-
time I ever got to see a $2 bill.
They gave that shit. They took that shit away from those people at Fazoli's. They started putting shit on
Start putting
tables.
6 stickers on the table saying you don't have to tip our waitress. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
dude.
But there were people still tipped anyways, though.
Yeah,
Because I remember being a busboy when those stickers started getting put on the table and people would be like, I'm not listening to that here.
yeah.
And they would tip us anyways.
What a scam, dude. $7.25 an hour, dude. Beasting.
I left out of there at $8 an hour and got hired at the hardware store for $8.25 an hour.
I was so glad. At Papa John's, one of the reasons why I think I liked it because we got paid weekly there.
Yeah.
Every Friday. I topped out there about $7.75. I would work extra. I'd work like 40 something hours. I'd work like 42, 43 hours, dude. I think my checks would be like $300.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
And that's with, like, overtime.
450 was a busy week.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine?
God.
Shit,
I only made $2.13 an hour at Golden Corral.
That's because you were a tipped employee.
Yeah,
I think
bullshit.
that's such bullshit. Like being a tipped employee, we get to pay you a lot less. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
I should be making minimum wage, and everything else after that is just extra. But I'm so glad that Mr. Donald Trump's bill has passed
Oh yeah.
in the House. Now it's going to the Senate. No taxes on tips. No taxes on overtime.
No taxes on overtime.
No taxes on overtime.
That's awesome.
That's going to be huge, but it's got to get through the Senate. It's got to get through the Senate before it goes to his desk and he gets to sign it into law.
Dude, they're just gonna deny it, dude.
Yeah. But it got through the House, so that gave me a little giblet of hope. We'll see. We'll see. Not that I get a lot of overtime and I'm not a tipped employee,
We
so
just
it's not
get-
going to help me much at all, but
You just need to get rid of income tax.
that
It's
was
illegal.
supposedly supposed to be his next step was if this one goes through just fine, he'll do the income tax. Increase his tariffs on everybody else. Take away the
Dude,
income tax.
If he ends up somehow ending all these wars and gets rid of income taxes, he's the GOAT, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead
it
and
would
crown
be,
him.
it would be insane.
Go ahead and crown him, dude, at that point. If he gets rid of my fucking income taxes.
Monarch.
Hey, if he gets rid of my income taxes, crown him.
Yeah, that's roughly $230 paycheck extra.
Yes.
Like just
It's
off
bullshit.
federal taxes. Like,
God, dude.
that would be huge.
Every time, see, today has been one of those days where I was thinking about work all day. Like I was trying not to think about it because every time I think about getting fucked over, it pisses me off to no end, dude.
Yep. It's irritating. It really
and I'm
is.
like, I can't take a motherfucking vacation. I haven't taken a vacation since I've been 20 years old, dude.
The fact that anybody would have a problem with you taking a vacation is just irritating.
Dude.
It's like, it's just not that big a deal.
My
Fuck the
dad-
guy that sits behind a desk.
Hell, my dad told me, he said, you're going. And
Yeah.
he don't give a shit. He was like, you're going. We'll figure it out.
It shouldn't be that big a deal.
It's not, dude.
Hell, I told my boss this past Thursday, I was like, hey, I got myself in a good spot. I'm
He
going
even
home
told
early.
me, Rob even told me this morning, he was like, if something hits the fan while I'm not here, I need you. Because that's how much fucking responsibility he puts in me.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, give me a raise then. Since I have all this fucking responsibility you're putting on me and shit. Yeah, I mean, god damn.
It doesn't end.
Yeah.
It doesn't end.
This is what happens when you're a good fucking employee, dude. They will fucking try to
They
shit
expect
down your
you
neck,
to
dude.
comply.
They try to shit down your neck.
And you do. You do comply until a certain point.
And it's coming to it right now.
Good.
It's
Let 'em have it.
It's
Let 'em
slowly-
have it.
It's slowly coming to the head, dude. And I'm telling you right now, he'll try. There's one coming. The one I told you about. He's already got me off Monday and Friday. And I already have him on text still. I'm screenshotting it, like you said, where it says, yes, I could be off this upcoming Saturday. That motherfucker tries to fit me on the schedule. He's immediately getting a screenshot
We
sent
are
to him.
reaching the cataclysm that is your career at FedEx.
Yeah, where I'm turning into just, look, I've worked my ass off for 4 years. I'm turning into just I need a fucking break a little bit, dude.
It will either go down the path that you want it to, or it's going to end.
I'm on the
entirely.
right. I mean, look, I might be considered a dick for doing what I'm literally doing right now, but goddamn, it's the right path, I think. I mean, goddamn, you need a fucking vacation. You need a fucking couple days off whenever you fucking ask for them. I mean, what the fuck? Anywhere else, you would get that shit.
Yeah. Like, hey, guess what, motherfucker? Your job gives me PTO.
Yes.
I should be allowed to use it without catching shit from you, because that's one of my benefits.
Yeah.
Is I get to take the time off that I
They don't
need.
want you to have a fucking day off.
But they
over
don't
there,
want
dude.
you to use it.
Yes.
They don't want you to use it.
That is bullshit, dude. That is bullshit.
It is. It's utter bullshit.
Oh, he's gonna try to put me on.
Don't make this one of my benefits.
I
If
have
you're
to
going to
work.
give me this shit.
You
for
remember
using
last
it.
weekend I worked Saturday and Sunday?
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm working Saturday and Sunday again. Oh,
You got to work tomorrow?
dude. That's what I'm trying not to drink. I'm like, dude, I ain't drinking because I already got hammered last night and just showed up ripped off my ass this morning to work.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing that shit 2 days in a row. My body is starting to get old. I can only take so much of doing that shit now.
It's crazy how it fucks you up the next day. I don't like that feeling either.
Being like 18, 19, you get hammered, show up to work like you're fucking sober the next day.
Oh, fuck no.
Even
No.
at 18, 19, I was good. I was
I've
like, dude,
always
I'm good.
had issues. Like if I drink way too much, I'm gonna have a hard fucking morning. I might be late.
Well,
and
you
I'm-
can drink a ton, like 17, 18 beers, and you won't get a hangover because you'll still be drunk until like 12 o'clock the next day. And so you're good. You just skip the hangover
I
completely.
don't think that I've ever experienced the feeling of having 17 or 18 beers.
Dude, you're hungover till, not even hungover, you're just kind of tipsy till about 11 o'clock in the morning or 12. I've been worried you don't have a hangover.
I've had hangovers.
Because you're like pounding water
I've
while
had
you're.
hangovers, but I've never woke up and been tipsy the next day.
You ain't drinking enough then.
God!
Dude, drink like 20 beers and you'll see.
I wouldn't even be able to get to the bed.
Dude, you could drink 20 beers.
No.
Dude, you're a fucking. You're a thoroughbred, dude. You got it.
No.
Your Irish genes, dude, will carry you to the finish line. It's like whenever Shane Gillis and Ari had that competition on Protect Our Parks and Ari fucking exploded. You remember that episode where Ari threw up all over the fucking floor in the cooler on Protect Our Parks?
Yes, but currently I'm remembering the point in my life where I was buying 24 cases of Bud Light and was drinking the entire fucking case
Dude, those were bad times.
in one night. So now I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, you're hazy for a while the next day.
I'm starting to remember that. Like I can remember this fridge right here in the room being full of Bud Lights and down and all those. And
your memory's pretty bad the next day too.
whoo,
Yeah.
man, I ain't been there in a while. I think I've found my limit. You know, I guess. It's like now
I'm gonna try to go this week. I'm gonna try to go, well, except for this one. I'm gonna try to go till I get a fucking piece of pussy at least. Until I fucking drive another beer. I can't have another beer until I get laid.
You're gonna need at least 8
Throughout the week?
No, the night of.
Well, that's different. True.
Oh, doof, 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 doof. It's over.
God, dude. Neuron activation.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there. All it takes is practice.
The patience is what it's fucking taking, dude, and it's wearing thin.
No, it ain't. Your patience is thicker than ever.
It's good, dude. I told her ass.
But your impulses.
I ain't saying that on the cast. Never mind.
Ooh.
That one's way too personal. For
Don't
me.
even allude to the point.
That one's way too personal for me. To release that one on the cast.
Don't do that. Hell, we're already this far. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're 2 hours in. We can end it if you want.
Shit. 2 hours already?
Yes.
What time is it?
5:14.
All right, then. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The TV's fucking off.
Oh, yeah. Wow, shit, I can't even say it.